Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Announcing the September PleinAir Salon Art Competition Awards that was judged by artist Kathie Odom. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Carrie Stober. I've been with Streamline Publishing for over 12 years now, and I have been managing the PleinAir Salon for about, 6 years maybe. It's been so long I can't remember, but it's been a joy the whole time. I want to give a quick overview of what the PleinAir Salon is before we get started with our awards tonight, just for anyone who's new who is watching. To start, the PleinAir Salon is an online-only competition. It's monthly, so there are no, it's monthly, so there's cash prizes every month, there's new judges every month, and since it's online only, there's no exhibition, there's no shipping artwork or anything like that. It's all through our website, which makes it super easy for artists. We also have a variety of categories that you can enter. It is a two-dimensional painting competition, so there's no categories for photography or digital art or things like that, but there are a variety of categories to enter, so definitely be sure to check it out to see what fits what you're painting. Every month, we invite top artists as well as gallery and museum professionals to judge our competition, and this is a great opportunity to get your artwork in front of some very talented and influential people. We use a blind judging system for our judging, which means that we don't show the judges the artist's information. They are only seeing the painting and any details that pertain to the painting, like the medium, the size, and that kind of thing. We have monthly cash prizes, and since we have 12-month cycles, that adds up to over $2,000 a month, which is over $25,000 a year for our monthly prizes. And we also promote our award winners in our magazines, our newsletters, our social media, all kinds of places. So it gives artists a chance to be seen by collectors and galleries and also get some national exposure. Each of our monthly winners are also included in the judging for our annual competition, where we award over $25,000 in annual prizes. And the grand prize winner actually wins $15,000 in cash and has their winning painting featured on the cover of PleinAir magazine. So in total, we are awarding over $50,000 each year in all cash prizes. And there are a few questions that I often get asked when it comes to judging a competition. And number one is, why did that painting win? It's clearly not a PleinAir painting. And the reason for that is we're not strictly a PleinAir painting competition. And I know that that is confusing given that it's called the PleinAir Salon. But since we were created by PleinAir magazine, we have PleinAir in our name. But even within the pages of PleinAir magazine, you'll see that we feature stories on artists who paint in a variety of styles. They paint in the studio, they paint still life, all kinds of things. So just like that, we also allow non-PleinAir paintings to enter the competition as long as you're not entering the PleinAir specific categories. And then the number two question we get is, can we get feedback on our paintings? And the answer is no, simply because we accept every painting that gets entered to the PleinAir Salon. And some months, that's over 1,000 paintings. So there's just not enough time for our judges to give individual feedback on each and every single painting that they're looking at. So that's why we don't offer individual feedback, which I know is upsetting to some people, but I encourage you guys to look at the top 100 finalists that we announce every month, look at the winners to see who won, why they won, look at their paintings to see how yours stacks up and see, okay, maybe I need to work on this, or maybe it was just the judge. They liked, they have a certain style and they liked something the way that they see, So speaking of judges, I have a very special guest today that I'm going to bring on right now, and that is Kathie Odom. Welcome, Kathie.
Thanks for having me, I think.
Yes,
no, I'm really glad to be here.
Well, I'm so glad that you and Buddy could make the time. I know you guys were busy. So, Kathie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself for those who aren't aware of who Kathie Odom is?
Well, Kathie Odom was an art major at the University of Tennessee. There was a whole lot before that. But as far as art goes, also had an amazing high school art teacher. And so I think that art has always been a part of my life. But interestingly enough, painting was not part of my college experience. I did everything else, drawing, ceramics, printmaking, all kinds of things, but not painting. And I was given a 50-year-old birthday present of a workshop at a wonderful folk school in oils. And that's when my painting started. And it that wasn't too long ago, but it's starting to be longer than it's just starting to go so fast. But anyway, painting has just become a big part of my life now. And but I have that art history and art experience that I've had most of my life.
That is so cool. I love hearing that. That's just it's such a fun story, and I just always love talking to you anyway, so okay, so we're gonna get to our awards now, so I will bring Kathie back out in just a little bit, but I'm gonna bring this up, see if it'll work today. Yay, it's working. It didn't wanna work earlier. So, our awards first are gonna be for our honorable mention awards. These oh, no, it doesn't wanna work. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Gotta love it. Let's try this. There we go. Okay, so honorable mention awards, we have these for each of our categories. These artists each receive a $100 paint tube discount, and they get a showcase in our digital edition of PleinAir magazine. And I also include them in the awards galleries on our websites for Fine Art Connoisseur, Outdoor Painter, and PleinAir Salon. And they also get additional exposure through our newsletters and our social platforms. Our first award today is Animals and Birds Honorable Mention. This goes to Michelle Held for the Golden Glow. Artist over 65 honorable mention is Igong Mao for Farm in the Morning. Artist under 40 honorable mention is Brad Davis for Progress on Memorial. Building honorable mention goes to Devin Roberts for The Long Night. Clouds and Sky honorable mention goes to Linda Moody for Dawn's Early Light. Drawing honorable mention goes to Annie Murphy Robinson for Animus. Figure and Portrait honorable mention goes to Crystal Brown for Forged. Floral honorable mention goes to Serhiy Chernikovsky from Ukraine for Mallow. Landscape honorable mention goes to J. Ken Spencer for Approaching Dusk, Silver Creek. Nocturne honorable mention goes to Danny Folkman for Urban Twilight. PleinAir acrylic and gouache honorable mention goes to Bernard Delario for Netting. PleinAir landscape honorable mention goes to Delise Blanchard for A Joyful Noise. PleinAir oil honorable mention goes to Lon Brower for Marcelino and his bag of tamales. PleinAir pastel honorable mention goes to Jill Stephanie Wagner for Old Timer. PleinAir watercolor honorable mention goes to Jeff Steiner for Break Time. Still Life honorable mention goes to Joe Gursak for Light Path 2. Vehicle honorable mention goes to Shannon Meadows for Going the Distance. Water honorable mention goes to Catherine Hillis for Spring on Bayou Tigre, PleinAir. And Western honorable mention goes to Caitlin Laleen Hatch for Step Into Your Light. Congratulations to all of our honorable mention recipients this evening. We're going to see. Oh, hold on. There we go. Our category awards. Let's see if this is, sorry, it's being slow today. Each of these artists receive a $50 cash prize. They receive a showcase in PleinAir magazine. They'll also be included in the galleries on Fine Art Connoisseur, Outdoor Painter, and PleinAir Salon. They are also eligible for editorial coverage in our newsletters and exposure through our social media platforms. And they are also entered into the annual competition. Like I said, we'll be awarding that in May. Our first award is Best Animals and Birds. And this goes to Caitlin Laleen Hatch for Faithful. Best Artist over 65, Linda Tippett for Bearded Man. Best Artist Under 40 is Benjamin Walter for Last Summer Evening. Best Building goes to J. Ken Spencer for The Whispering Window. Best Clouds and Sky goes to Natalie Lapointe. I'm going to butcher this. I'm sorry, Natalie. Vacances aux bords des fleuves. Best Drawing goes to Marcos Rey of Peru for Caminante. Best Figure and Portrait is Andrew Judd for My Sergeant Infatuation. Best Floral goes to Nancy Tankersley for Ode to Spring. Best Landscape goes to Natalie Lapointe for Terrace Vertes. Best Nocturne goes to Benjamin Walter for Greenwood Farm Nocturne. Best Plein-Air Acrylic and Gouache goes to Poppy Balser for Evening Light on Water and Stone. Best Plein-Air Landscape goes to Barbara Tapp for Welcome to the Neighborhood. Best Plein-Air Oil goes to Kent Brewer for Copper Awning. Best Plein-Air Pastel goes to Lon Brower for Sunrise. Best Plein-Air Watercolor goes to Thomas Bucci for Colonial Gold. Best Still Life goes to Rachel Dowd for The Usual Please. Best Vehicle goes to Lon Brower for Ships in the Night. Best Water goes to Nancy Tankersley for The Race Home. And finally, Best Western goes to Kirk Larson for The Win. Congratulations to all of our award winners this evening. You're going to be able to see them in the upcoming issue of PleinAir Magazine, as well as on the PleinAir Salon website in the September Winners Gallery. And before we get to our top 3 awards, I want to bring back in Kathie. Hi, Kathie.
I'm so blown away. I'm so surprised because several people got more than one, and I didn't know that. I mean, I
And
didn't
that's
know
why
that.
we did blind judging. I loved watching I could see her backstage, and I was watching her reaction as I was calling out names. It was great.
Well, and then it's always a fun surprise when you know somebody, but you didn't know you chose their art. And
Right?
I meet a lot of people along the way and through workshops and things. So it's exciting. It really is.
And I just think that's great. It's a great testament to so there are people who, they see the artwork and they're like, oh, I know exactly who that is. I'm not going to pick them because I know who they are. Or they're going to pick them and say, okay, I know who they are, but whatever. But I love that you didn't even know who they were and are finding out as we're announcing the awards. I think that's great.
It's really exciting. There were a few that the art did stand out and I knew who they were, but their art stood out among the others. And I know that a lot of what I choose is my preference, and it's just my turn to get to do that, I guess. But
Yes.
lovely work. This has been a very learning experience for me, although every time it is. I've also judged other things, but it's always so helpful to me, too, to be able to do this job.
When you say that it was a learning experience, what do you mean by that?
Well, you just get to see a lot of wonderful art, and you see how people put shapes together and their ability to do beautiful values and color, which I always love. But to see so many different styles as you're sitting here just going through a lot of beautiful art, it really it just sinks in somewhat. I hope it does. That's my hope, but it's definitely a learning thing.
And is there anything specific that you are looking for when you're judging a competition?
Absolutely. First of all, I run through all the entries, just looking for those strong paintings or paintings that do happen to stand out. And the I would say really strong shapes. Um, I would say value differences from the focal point to the background. I would say hard marks versus softer ones. So we're talking edges there. Um, I could go through definitely the all the things that we're looking for in our paintings and wanting. But I think once that those things start to boil down, all of the ability and skills, then I start to really look for, does the painting have a feeling? And does it move me emotionally, or in a way that is, I don't know. Maybe my heart swells or something.
Mhm.
But that definitely is something that I am looking for and hoping will happen. And then originality is huge. We can most of us that entered this competition can, and they all were beautiful paintings or special paintings, but we all have a lot of the abilities, but do we have the ability to move somebody or to tell a story? And that's something that I'm always looking for in my own art. I don't want to just paint a pretty picture.
Mhm.
I want something to happen. So skill and ability, an emotional thing, an original idea, being very imaginative, and the feeling are all things I'm looking for.
That's great. I love to hear that. So we're going to get to our top awards, and then I'm going to ask Kathie to talk about why she picked him. So our first is third place overall. And let me get to this here. This artist receives a $200 cash prize. And our third place winner is Joe Gersick for Asbury Park. Kathie, do you want to talk about this painting?
I love this painting. This painting shows the ability to take values and make things strong and then soften them so that you have distance. There's a lot of atmosphere in this painting. Also, I think one thing that a lot of us are looking for is when abstract shapes um, actually do a representational painting. And this is a beautiful example of that. I love how some of the figures stand out more than others, but then the soft edge figures I'm just as interested in. And my
Mhm.
eye is just moving all around this piece. I just think it's a beautiful piece of art.
I would agree. Joe, congratulations. And our next award is second place. This artist receives a $400 cash prize. And our second place winner is Paul Cratter for the matriarch.
This painting it just stood out. I mean, it's an elephant. It's a large representational thing, but the beauty of how in each shape there are different colors of the same value. And
Mhm.
this is something that's really, I'm so intrigued by. I'm still trying to learn myself. And Paul has done the most beautiful job of it. When you first look, you think simplicity, but there is nothing simple about this painting at all in the way that it's painted and the beauty that it brings. And just like talking about Joe's painting, this one has the beautiful soft edges and then the hard edges exactly where they need to be. But the main thing for me was the different colors in a shape that are the same value. It's just beautifully done.
Mhm.
And
That is
I
wonderful.
feel such emotion from this elephant. I mean, that was definitely there. She's something else, this matriarch.
Congratulations, Paul. That is a beautiful and well done painting.
Yes.
And, oh, sorry. Have our first place award. This artist receives a $600 cash prize, and the winner is Susan Patton for Still Stirring at 93.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know who this was either. And I've met Susan and know who I just love this painting. I am so taken by it. And it is definitely puts you in the place of this beautiful woman that you don't see, you just see the back of her or the side view of her face. But um, it it's so imaginative, and it's, one day I'm going to be sitting in that chair, and that the thought of that and the emotion that that brings, and the fact that this woman is still trying to live and be on her own. But as far as the skill goes, the values are blow me away. The fact that she is front and center, but all the detail of the things around her and the soft edges of those things, and but yet you know exactly what they are. There's
Mhm.
great shapes in there. I I could go on and on and on about this painting, and I won't do that. But hopefully I gave you enough. I just really adore this painting.
That is awesome. Congratulations, Susan, and congratulations to all of our award winners tonight. And before we let Kathie go, I do have one more question for you, Kathie. What advice do you have for artists who are thinking about entering a competition, or why they should enter?
Um, your photos make a huge difference. When I'm entering a competition, I usually get a professional photo done of my art. I know that we can't all do that, but really pay attention to the lighting, the time of day, and actually the a little bit of an overcast day, but a bright day is a great time to take a photo. Um, Also, your materials. One thing that really stood out to me is a cotton canvas versus the linen canvas. I'm pretty biased on that. I like a linen canvas because it's a little bit more organic. I think it receives the paint in a different way than a cotton canvas. That's kind of personal, and I realize that we all have our preferences, but I really could. I was there were paintings that I really liked, but I would have preferred them on a different surface. I think it really would have. The surface was taking away from the
Mhm.
image. What else? Just keep entering and keep getting better, trying to get better at what we do. It's such, I think, a brave and courageous thing to enter a competition. And I really wish I could comment on a lot of the paintings, because I think that is a learning experience. But there are local shows, there are a lot of different things that give you that kind of feedback. And always go to the judge at an event, and let them talk to you about your paintings. Oh boy, I'm gonna make some enemies there. Some judges. But I love it when I'm challenged, and I love it when I get to talk about somebody's art. So yeah.
That is great. Thank you, Kathie. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know that you are very, very busy, so I very much appreciate it.
We're getting to the end of another year, which is exciting. I get to be with my family. That'll be
That
fun.
is awesome. I love it. Is there anything else you want to add before we go today?
I don't think so, other than thank you for this opportunity, Carrie, and the powers that be. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I learned a lot from it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for everyone watching tonight. Congratulations to all of our award winners. You're going to see their artwork on the website as well as in the upcoming issue of PleinAir magazine. And don't forget that tomorrow, Halloween, is actually the last chance to enter the October competition with Ned Mueller. And then November coming up, we are going to have Dean Mitchell as our judge. So be sure to head over to our website, PleinAirSalon.com, to learn more. And thank you all for watching, and good night.